Tozano national anthem nazano. Yeah, good evening. My watch is telling me we have about maybe 6 more minutes, and then we'll start at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, good evening. It's a little bit different.
Sound check. Sound check.
Hi, good evening. So in about maybe 30 seconds, we'll start, but as we wait for that 30 seconds, I would like to do some preliminary, I guess, arrangement. First, let me acknowledge and thank each and every one of you for taking your time to join us tonight. Tonight's intention is a very, very basic Republican Party's general meeting, sort of informal, but more so because it has been a while to listen to concerns out there, but more specific, I will further explain. But for tonight, I ask that we start on time. It's only, in my view, appropriate for those who are here now. And what we will go through, I will also explain a little bit. But first of all, my name is Ray Tebotep. I am the Republican Party chair, Republican Party president, and we have, where are my staff? Where are my gangs? We have Lee Pan, former Congressman Lee Pan. He's the first or one vice president, and we first vice president or second vice president. And Candice Celis she's also our second vice president women. We have Danny Kitugwa. He is the treasurer. We have lastly Vivian Nogues. She is presently off island, but she's the secretary. So basically, there are 5 officers or sort of board to the overall Republican members, and the composition of the Republican members are basically strict to the formulation, to the bylaws that exist within. And so we're basically within the confines of the bylaws of the Republican local CNMI Republican Party. And again, I want to emphasize and thank you for attending tonight's general membership meeting. What has transpired in the past few weeks were communication between the board members with the National Republican Party, and I can fairly say that your being here tonight also has also allowed you to understand and hopefully get more clarity tonight on all those things that has happened within the past few weeks. As we speak tonight, we also have our Tinian Republican Party conducting the same meeting in Tinian. And Rhoda, we are in the process to also formulate the party down there, but at this point I cannot really talk much about the Rota Republican Party other than what I envision for tonight or what we have decided for tonight. So basically for tonight we're just going to be doing a input or similar to like a public input, but this one is Republican membership input on specific issues, on the communication I've had with the chairman of the National Republican Party, Mr. Wadley. We have also communicated with Mr. Wadley, but for tonight, based on those communications that I am sure that each one of you has already accessed, I'm going to ask that we allow each, once I finish, I will ask for anybody to come up and say their piece with regards to those communication I've had with the National Republican Party relative to the desires of our President Governor who wants to join the local Republican Party. Again, there are process and there are bylaws within that for us to follow. So first, let me again emphasize, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And as I allowed, there are two mics here, and perhaps I'll have my gangs over on my side to provide you the mic, and I ask that we contain your comments, at least your points, at least within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, depending, and if we have additional time, I'm sure we can allow you to come back and say your additional piece or additional comments relative to the issue that I just indicated. May I ask my team, did I miss anything else? But first let me elaborate that I kindly ask each and every speaker who would come up to exercise your traditional conversation just like as you do at home. And what I'm saying is that when somebody is speaking, that each one of us also give that person speaking the opportunity to be heard, and more importantly, the respect that whatever that individual is saying, whether we agree with it or not, that we convey that respect to that opinion or the comments being made. All right? So quickly, I will now open up the floor for any member, anybody here tonight to make comment for at least 2 to 3 minutes. The floor is open. May I also ask to also please state your name?
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Chi.
Thank you. Elisa Pangilinan. What I do, not a comment, but more of a request, if there's a way we can get a copy of the current bylaws for the Republican Party so we can review for future meetings. We can leave an email and then it can be sent that way. Would that be possible?
Quick answer, yes.
Thank you.
Del Benson, some of you might say, well, you ran as an independent. No, I ran as an independent Republican. Our Republican Party has been so fractured, and I look at the governor wanting to join the party. We need to look what the Commonwealth needs more than being offended by the effect of destroying the Republican Party, because that exodus did hurt the party, and it caused a lot of division, a lot of petty fighting. It divided families. We've got to get above that. As far as the next gubernatorial election, I think it's pretty obvious that that's not going to happen. A support for the divider. But we've done this before. We've had other people who have run and made new parties because they didn't get the support of the Republicans. And so they run, they rejoin. This is a pattern which we do. My argument is, what is the best for the Commonwealth? Not how come we're offended because they destroyed our party. And everybody had their reasons. I ran because I didn't agree with what was going on with Republicans. And I ran, and I would never be a Democrat because of the principles. We need to stand for principles. And if the people don't stand with the principles, then I don't think we should support them regarding if they're a party or not. The Republican Party stands for freedom and independence. It stands for smaller government, fewer regulations, personal prosperity and freedom. And we here in the Commonwealth have a tendency to all be Democrats. It's all what we can get. It's all big government. It's all about the jobs, and that's what we do in elections. It's the support goes to who's going to give me the job. We got to start looking at the principles if we want to move anywhere and rise above our struggles, because our future is dim. We look forward. What is our economic outlook? It's not good. We've got to come together. We've got to come together in ways to do economic development. We got to not say corruption, corruption, and being corrupt as we yell that, because we like corruption if we benefit from it. So we've got to start looking at ourselves how we do this and come together based on principles, not on names, because names change, and we're kind of like the Sneetches. We change stars as we change parties and we change with people because they didn't support me, so I'm not going to support them. And unfortunately, we have legislation that happens is, oh, they didn't support me, I don't like this, even though it's benefit the Commonwealth, I'm going to tank it. So I could babble on, and I'm not going to, but I think we need to look at what do we need as a Commonwealth.
Thank you, Dale.
That is the most important.
Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. If we have time, you can perhaps come back. The floor is still open for anybody to make comment. Again, at least 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening. GOP. Good evening, GOP.
Good evening.
My name is Tony Benavente. Yeah, my brother Dago was a GOP president, and somehow, knowing that he actually told us, the family and friends, that he would be resigning. So I'm wondering, this GOP right now, if you know Chamorro, mandatangay, loko manihita. So what I'm saying is, are we really together? The GOP was one strong party. The GOP was always the longest from TT, Tenorio, Larry Guerrero, and Benjamin Magnolia. And then, it split. It started splitting. But this GOP, if we're looking at foreseeing the future and trying to understand what we're trying to do in our economy and the right of bringing a powerful team of Republicans, we know that I think everybody's changing in terms of their attitude. They're seeing who's really the right person. And that's because when there's a party running, they say, oh, he's not a good person, even if under GOP. But honestly, let's stop that. If we're really a GOP, that's why I bring back to how we're together, but are we really together? I'm just saying is, this leadership right now that we have as a Republican GOP here in CNMI, this is for Saipan, Rodantinian, and the Northern Islands. But are they really within that scope to really support who is running? Do we have a say on that leader was who to elect? It seems that somebody's elected and majority of the people don't really know who was put into the GOP. Now, we're here for reason of, I guess, a certain agenda. But are we trying to wait and decide as to who will really be the main GOP leadership? Or are we still going to stick to this? The former GOP decides that when this candidate for the Republican, that's it. That person can be the only one, nobody else. There's no reason to say, let's try and be united and have a primary and work together and unite our teams. And whoever wins between the two candidates or whatever,
Thank you,
somebody.
Pali.
Thank you.
If we have time, we can allow.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay. My name is Bertilia, and I miss the party, the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, especially the Republican Party of the late Governor Pedro P. Tenorio, Jesus R. Sablon, and the late and the party of the Democrat Party of the former Governor Carlos Camacho. This has never been the parties, the two viable parties of the CNMI has never been like this before. Okay? And we cannot go back to history. And I meant when they create the Covenant Party. Why they create the Covenant Party? Because another group of people who wants to align to a party that wanna bring the CNMI into its ground for economic and fair government. And while the Covenant Party was in existence, the Republican Party was going down. Okay? And then it happened that the Covenant Party took over the Republican Party. And now this is gonna happen again this time. We forgot about the Republican Party of former Governor Tenorio and former Lieutenant Governor Pepero. We forgot the Democrat Party of who's that? The former Governor Carlos Camacho. Why are we so? Why are we bringing this now? Why can a party where a party and the people that represent as you were elected, either independent, Democrat, or Republican, use those incumbents. They should represent the entire people of the Northern Mariana. Okay? No more party affiliated. When you are in there, you should serve the people of the Commonwealth. Why are we here? Why do we want, again, this another chaotic relationship of two parties?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I don't know why we're here tonight.
Let me emphasize again that I kindly ask that the reason why we put the time limit for each speaker at 3 minutes is that if we provide 5 minutes, we're probably going to go here all night. And the role of the officers of the party is to facilitate your bylaws. So I kindly ask that we also respect each speaker's personal opinion or opinion, and we just leave it at that. The floor is now or continues to be open for anybody to say your comment.
Good evening. My name is Bobby Torres Sablon. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Actually, my question, Chair, we were mentioning about the comment or a letter that was written to the Republican National Convention or member, or that you wrote a letter to. Now, my question, I know that that letter is out. However, there has not been any response, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And for that reason, that's the reason why I wanted to bring up. I purposely came to attend the meeting this evening is because, yes, Pertilia, you're very right. During the Tenorio Sablan, Tenorio, Larry Guerrero, and all those former governors, the Republican Party is so strong. We have this no division of red, blue, we're all together as one. And that's what I want to try to bring up to everyone here tonight. Let's stop that. If we want to have a good Commonwealth, let's work together. That's all I ask for the common good of the people of the Commonwealth. We all know there's a lot of us, even us, that are already in so-called good standard of living. We feel the impact. So that's what I ask. Let's work together for the betterment of the Commonwealth, for this Republican Party to be strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. The floor is still open. Okay, then if there's none, then perhaps we need to adjourn. Oh,
Can we speak twice?
let me try again. The floor is still open before I allow for a second round for you, Mr. Benson.
I have one simple question. Okay, good evening. My name is Josephine Bosa, and I'm one of the victim employee. I'm a civil service for the longest time, and they cannot fire me. So my question now to all of you present here, why now? Why all of you want to join GOP? There must be an agenda. Why now? Anyone? Who wants to answer?
Thank you. Chicha? Chicha, can we give Mr. Capileo before you? Okay, go ahead, Chicha.
The question of why now, right? The why now am I joining back the Republican Party? I was once a party secretary, but like everybody has said, we are suffering. We want a better community. In order for us to start, we need to get rid of the past and start moving forward, right? We have a new demographics of voters. That's our target. That's our biggest voters. We want to come back strong. We want to bring back the party. We want to restore faith in our people. That's how. Forget about the past and let's move on and let's work together for a better Marianas, like everybody's saying, right? We can't erase it. We can't rewrite it. What we can do is work around it and make it better. That's it.
Thank you, Chicha. There's no rebuttal. We just respect everybody's position or opinion, please. And the floor continues to be open.
Good evening, si Tony Capileo. I heard earlier, Bobby commented about respect. Respect goes both ways, right? So, to the question why now, there's process, and if we're talking about respect, why did we forgo, or why did we bypass the local chapter? Or why did the application process go straight to the RNC when we have bylaws? Right? Rule number 11 says the RNC should involve or should consent with the local chapter for any applicants into the party. So if we're talking about respect, I don't know how we can call that shot an irrespective move or respectable move by going straight to the RNC and bypassing the local chapter. That's it.
Thank you, Tony. Again, the floor is open, but let me also re-emphasize that the role of the officers is to facilitate the bylaws of the membership, and also to emphasize too that we are here to listen. Anybody wants to speak?
Thank you. enormously successfully. I always believe that the philosophy of the Republican Party is a party of inclusion. Regardless, we see individuals move away, we see individuals coming back. So I guess if we are going to abide by and practice that philosophy, then I guess we should have the Republican Party continue to practice that party of inclusion. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. The floor is open. No more than perhaps Mr. Benson.
All right, sorry. to go
Second
first.
round.
You give us limit time, and it's nice not to be too preachy here. I agree. The question is, why now? Well, why not now? We need to come together. We've got a president that is very pro-Republican principles. Yes, we've been hurt. We have hurt each other. It was a horrible time with all the accusations. We need to heal. We need to get over it. The fact that he can join the party doesn't mean he has to be the head of the party, because the party's already made some decisions. But we do need some continuity with Washington. We are still, and I'm going to say the words that people don't like to hear, we are a colony of the United States. We don't have as much say. We have to be careful and beg Washington. We need them in our pocket right now, and with Trump. So I would say, let's try and be forgiving. Let's go get over it. Let's move forward based on principles. Let's focus on principles.
Thank you, sir.
Chris.
Thank you. Chairman, thank you for having this meeting. Just a quick question. Is the vision of the local GOP or the CNMI GOP to align with RNC every election cycle?
Okay, you want me to comment to that? I think it's already written in both policies on
Okay, so-
RNC and local.
So the answer is yes, right?
Sure, yes.
Okay, so what wins an election is when you put people together, correct?
Plural.
Okay. So I just, I'm a Republican since 2005, and I'm still a Republican. I never left. And I want to say this, that I heard someone earlier about inclusivity and putting people together. My take on this is just keep an open mind. Because although we are very far, we're barely a dot in the globe, but we are very big in the eyes of national security, national geopolitical issue. So before we, escalate any, whatever the agenda is moving forward, let's keep an open mind and tread carefully. It's a Trump administration, and I think the Republicans need to send a congratulatory letter to President Trump, because he won single-handedly almost the entire State of the Union, including the CNMI. So let's tread carefully and keep an open mind.
Thank you, Senator. And just so you know, we did send a congratulatory letter to President Trump and Vice President.
Thank you.
Pence. Go ahead.
I know that to become a member of the Republican Party, I don't think there's any requirement for you to join the Republican Party. There's no restriction, right? However, for the National Committee, I'm concerned because I remember the time of several years ago, we had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork to send to RNC so that we could be part of the RNC, committeeman, committee woman, just a whole bunch of stuff. So it's kind of premature for us to talk about that, because I don't think any one of us here has the rules as far as the territories in the RNC. We need to get that and read it and understand it. But as far as someone wanting to come in and join the Republican Party, nobody owns Republican Party. Each one of us who wants to be a member should be a member. Thank you.
What's your name?
Thank you. I think her name is Pat. Is that your name?
Patricia Nelson.
Thank you. We just kind of want to stick to the rules. At the onset of this tonight's meeting, Chicha also asked about the bylaws, and yes, we can avail you the bylaws of the local Republican or GOP, CNMI Republican Party. On the national, I think the last name is Gugu. You can find it on Google. I don't know what's the first name. What's the first name? Mark. The floor is still open, and anybody else would like to? Sir.
Buenas, my name is Ted Sablan Dilong Guerrero. This is my first time speaking here in the Republican Party. You know, we all say, why now, right? Then we all say, raised in one but born in CNMI. Saipan. Anyway, they mentioned why now, they mentioned unity. How do we get and unite together? Because, you know, sometimes we basically click, you know, and somebody got manenti. You know the word manenti is? Lana, tiba chuli, no, tiba konit, basta be run for independent, right? There's a solution for that. There's probably 2 or 3, 4. What happened to primary? You know, we can have 3 running for primary, right? And pledge allegiance to just one unity. So nobody becomes manenti, okay? Now, whoever is the top 3 vote getter, and let the people decide, not only the core, because we need the people vote. That's basically is, and another thing, you know, what happened to the core value of the Republican? You know, the core value. I'm new here. I'm new here, and I believe in the core value, you know, and you know we in our CNMI right now we're struggling with a lot of things, economic and whatnot. There's ways, you know, whenever we go down, there's only so much down we can go. So now this is the right time to find a solution, find a unity, and the only way to do that is let the people vote. You know, let the people vote. If they want to vote, let them vote because they're a Republican. And then the top 3, whoever wants to run in the primary, will be the one to be running for the general. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ted. Anybody else? Still open. Calling once. And just so you know, the officers are also putting a schedule together within this next couple of months. And I ask your indulgence that you also be on the lookout for the media who take whatever's been said tonight, even informally as we speak outside this end of the meeting. And then we will come back to the membership, as I said earlier. Again, our role is to facilitate these bylaws and or your membership's desires. So anybody else would like to make comment? All right. One more.
Good evening, Marco Peter, farmer. I just want to say that the Republican Party has still been around since the Torres administration, and I know it's been quiet the last couple of years because of the new administration that came in. Everybody was trying to protect their jobs and their livelihood, right? Trying to make sure that they're not at every meeting that we actually participated in for the Republican Party. So I'm here just to remind you that the situation that we're in it's not because the GOP party, there was only a handful of the GOP party around. We had a new administration that wasn't part of the GOP party. We had a legislature that wasn't part of the GOP party. So I just want to remind you what happened the last 2 years. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I think, Bert, we want to go for a second round.
No, so what is your recommendation to especially those that are incumbent, that want to join the party in the near future before the election, coming up election?
So if I understand you correctly, you're asking me a question on what would happen to those.
No, what is your recommendation?
What is my recommendation or those incumbent presently that wants to come back to the... Okay, that would be a very good thing for everybody to ponder. I have my own recommendation, but at this point, my role is to facilitate the process for tonight and hear you out.
Thank you, and that was a good question. We look around ourselves, just look around. There's a lot of candidates or incumbents right now that are here. And what is the possibility of being in the Republican Party? Now, this leadership that we have, is it really our vote to put them in? Is it really us, GOP, that really put them in? So, all I'm saying is, let's make that decision too, as a GOP people, because we can only be strong if we have the right people. So that's how we split, because we don't have the right people. And that's how I feel right now. But if we vote and be united to really put the right people as a GOP leadership, I feel that we can bring this unity on the GOP together. That's my voice. And believe me, I'm still in question as to if I've been a GOP, but if I'm going to stick to a GOP, it better be a right leadership. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Appreciate that comment. And so part of the process, other than what had transpired within these letters that ran all over the space and tonight, including the forthcoming membership, to call for the membership for election of new officers. Most likely we're looking at March. And the floor is still open. Thoughts out? Then
Can I make a recommendation? Because tonight we are talking about inclusion, okay? And let's face the fact that some of our incumbents are elected by other people, none other than Republicans. And that would create chaos if we move now. So my recommendation is that why can't we wait for the 2 years And then we welcome everybody, anybody who wants to join the Republican Party. And if you wish to be a candidate representing the Republican Party, submit in your candidacy name and let the Republican Party endorse you. Endorse all the candidates, any candidates that by the bylaws. Because we just discussed about inclusion. We don't want the Republican Party now to create chaos in the community, because others that are involved in the election process last election and the general election would be chaotic. Thank you for your presence tonight. Viva Republican Party.
Thank you, Bert.
Hello, good evening. My name is Ray Yomo. I know the Republican Party principles are strong. I know former Congressman Benavente nailed it when he said that it's the leadership that may have not been convincing enough to bring all of us together. You know, I'm a cabinet member, and when Governor Arnold Palacios came out and said that he was rejoining the Republican National Committee, it actually uplifted me, because he's basically given us the opportunity now to come back to the Republican Party. I know my former colleague Oscar Babalta, who is the Special Assistant for Administration, is here with us. We have independent elected members of Congress with us. We have a lot of members of this government that are here tonight. I know it may be painful for those of you that are true diehards, you know, all respect. I mean, to me, that's the foundation of the Republican Party, because we can see that you are adamant about the party and your belief in the party. We never really left the party. We just didn't feel that we subscribe to some of the candidates. That might be an issue, I don't know, but we are here. If you don't want us to be here, then let us know. You know, we can be much stronger going forward. I know it was mentioned by Ms. Pangilinan that we can't take back the past, unfortunately, but it is a part of history at this point. But we can make it stronger going forward if we just do the right thing and be a better party. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. But again, it's gonna take time to heal. And I think tonight, the healing process can begin if you're willing to allow for it. If the partyship wants to be tight-fisted about it, then that's the decision of the party, and you know, I'm afraid that we might not push forward as a stronger, more resilient party. So we're here, we're not doing anything other than to listen. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary. Appreciate it.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Andrew Solis. Thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight. I just want to say that whatever decision we make tonight, whether we join or we don't join or we allow Arnold to come, the people, our kids, are at stake here. Our people that are sick is at stake here. Our environment, our economy, the livelihood of our people is at stake. So when we make this decision, you have to make a decision that is crucial and is beneficial for the people of the Commonwealth. Having lived 30 years in the mainland, I can tell you that when I was back in California, I'd always say, man, why don't they align with the presidency of the United States? If the Republican is the president, then we should have a Republican. We all know politics. We all know the way politics works. All I'm saying is that when we make that decision to move forward, please take into consideration the kids. What do they need at school, our hospital, our roads? Look at the businesses that are leaving. DFS is contemplating leaving. So many things are happening in this Commonwealth, and if you don't have money, you cannot provide for our people. All of us can get a job. All of us here can go to Guam and get a job, go back to the mainland and get a job, but I'm not talking about you guys, man. I'm talking about the young kids, Abula Mes Regis in Tanapak and Unuliay. I'm talking about our sick people. Look at what's happening with our economy. We need to ask Arnold, if you're going to come back, are you going to work with Trump? Are you going to help our economy? Are you going to be inclusive? Because everything I heard about my primo Arnold was that you can't talk to the guy. So if we're going to invite him in, let's make sure that the priority is our people. Never mind the party. But let me tell you something, growing up, living in the mainland for 30 years, I can tell you this, man. Donald Trump is the man in Washington, D.C. right now. And you will pay a penalty if you're not a Republican. So there's many things to consider tonight. A lot of things to consider. But please don't forget our young kids, our sick people, our economy, and our relationship with the United States. And well, we're all related in somehow. First thing, you know, Oscar Rosa told me this many, many times. And I always tell this to good friends and good family members. Oscar Rosa would always tell me, Drew, if you don't know how to love and you don't know how to forgive, you will never go to heaven. So just mercy for your time, guys.
Thank you, Drew. Okay, no more? Still got time?
Jesus Mosi, thank you, Chairman. My name is Jose Mafnas. I've been always a Republican. You know, Deno, Larry, all the Republican. Only this, I went solo on these previous ones because it was the Republican that pushed me out. Okay, I'm always a Republican. To be honest, I was kind of reluctant to come tonight, but said, hey, told my wife, let's go and you know, see what's happening with our party. You know, there's unity, there's strength. There's strength in unity. We're all united. Honestly, Mr. Chairman, roll down the red carpet and welcome everybody that are here, whether we're here or not. There's strength in quantity, right? If we all united, set aside these differences. Twice, I got pushed out, but I'm still a Republican. I'm here tonight, you know, so don't plan any birak in your mind. You know, think positive. Think about recruiting more people. Because I always believe that there's strength in unity and in quantity. And I just want to see a lot of my old street walking partners, Bert. We've been walking the streets during Teno and Peperu time. And, so glad to be here. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Primo. Okay, maybe somebody wants to talk. There's still somebody. Otherwise, none? Otherwise, let me. This one.
Hello and good evening, everyone. It is nice that we're all here tonight, and maybe a lot more people want to come, but they are hesitating because of whatever reason they have. It's so nice to hear unity here and unity there. And when the time comes, we forget about that. We think about what is it that's in there for me. That this is the problem, and this has been the problem. We get together. If we don't fit, we create another group. And here we are. We're talking about loving each other, unifying. And what happens when the time comes? We get together. When I don't fit in the requirement or the choices of some group of people, I skip. We cannot consider, is this individual, know a little bit more than I do? Am I going to be in there for the rest of the people of the CNMI, whether they get me in or not? Or otherwise? This is very nice. I would like to see everyone to be included. And we have to be honest with ourselves and look at how we are. How much are we suffering because of me? Nga siya, para po ako sa investigation na grupo. Sa thousand, no? And it's when we are in, we look at why we are there, why are we elected. Masaya tundizu kini, na unisisita tudo, na isista umano. So, bonitos nila, takasika, let's invite, let's keep inviting people. And include everyone that wants that, or wants that at one time or DOP, and they want to continue coming. But let's be honest and look at a bigger picture. Let's not forget about us, and let's look at what is it that we really need. Am I able to do that? Will I be able to do that? Will I be able to not, keep all the pictures who were there during my gathering and just move on and take care of the rest of the people of the CNMI. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, the election for the officers will be announced, or the general membership meeting again in sometime in March.
Are we invited?
All the people are invited.
Thank you.
Any other comments? If none, then I want to, just the mere presence of your presence tonight is a very positive indication for the love of the party. And I want to also thank each one of you, even those who are not able to be with us tonight. And please, please, drive safe home. Thank you very much. Good night.
This is your party.